Get to the agenda. I had it up here a minute ago. There it is. Okay. All right. Chair's remarks, I don't have any right now, so we will go ahead and get right into item number 4. Consider approving the minutes for the ACHRA regular board meeting from December 13th, 2022, and the statutory and organizational meetings from January 3rd, 2023.
So moved.
Come to our meeting and send it back to Karen.
Thank you, Trustee Gamache. Rachel, can you just give us a very quick overview of this project?
Yes, good. I guess it's still the morning, so good morning. Thank you for having us. Rachel Gradner. I'm with CBRE Location Incentives Practice here with Angie and Jill representing Graco. As a little bit of background on Graco and the project that's being contemplated, Graco engages our team, and we've been working with them for a number of years now as they contemplate significant investment across their portfolio and contemplate where they will create new jobs, hire new jobs, and grow. And this project in particular represents, I know it was discussed previously, a $43 million project, expansion of the existing facility in Anoka with the creation of 55 high-paying jobs with the average wage of $58,000. We certainly appreciate your time and consideration here. The county support is one of the many factors that goes into the business case that Angie and her team brings back for support and ultimately approval. This is a big piece of that business case. As you can imagine, a company like Graco sees a lot of internal competition for capital, and the support from the county certainly helps make that business case pencil. I think I'll pause there. I could keep going, but again, appreciate your time and here to answer and address any questions as we continue this discussion.
Great, thank you. Thank you for the information. Now we have everybody up on the screens so we can see you all. I'm assuming you can all hear us, okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
Can hear them?
Yeah, loud and clear. Good afternoon.
Perfect. Do we know who the call-in user is?
You know, I had a little trouble, so I'm actually on my computer with the video, but I'm calling in separate.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry about that.
All right, Karen, did you want to go any further on description, information-wise, and then we can open up to questions?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chair, trustees. I'm Karen Skepper, Executive Director of the Anoka County Housing and Redevelopment Authority. As you've heard from Rachel, this project is an expansion project. It means we will keep this business and grow it in our community, which has always been one of our high priorities. It is a $42 million project, which means that there will be significant increases in valuation of the property and thus property taxes paid back through the property tax system and distributed to all of the different entities that receive property tax disbursements. We believe that the $1 million upfront forgivable loan that we would be entering into will have a return of investment of a payback over 6 to 7 years, which is a relatively short time for an economic development project. We have a clause in the term sheet, which would ultimately be negotiated into a final agreement, where if the 55 jobs are not created, Graco will return funding based on a pro rata basis. With that, I am happy to answer any questions. I'm sure with the team we have assembled here, we can answer any questions you might have today.
Fantastic. Any questions of Trustee Meisner?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, actually, just commentary of appreciation. So I did have a lot of questions because we've not done this before, and Greg and yourself were very generous with your time. And I know everyone on the call here, too, has different expertise and different roles. So I don't think I have any particular questions about this project. I am glad that there's a clawback clause in this. And yeah, and again, I'm sorry, you guys on the phone. So in order to get this here, we voted at our regular board meeting. So I'm just gonna repeat what I said there, and this has nothing to do so much with this project, which I think has a lot of merit. I have always been a proponent of TIF or those kinds of tools in order to grow jobs and for economic development. What's happening at the board right now is that we are going through a wage correction with all of our staff, and all of our staff is pretty much taken care of for, except for a small section of union workers. So it does weigh on me as a commissioner to give out a $1 million loan before we are taking care of our own in-house. So it has been, a struggle for me. But this project itself, again, I think that it's really unique and innovative that we're able to do this. And I just wanted to be transparent about some of my comments and my thinking. Thank you.
Trustee Look.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it's important that we separate these two from Commissioner Meisner's comments. I know that there's currently, right now, we are under contract with our unions. There's a process through which those contracts can be looked at. But as it stands right now, we have a 3-year contract, and we're roughly 6 months into it, or whatever the case is. I understand it's with the implementation of non-union wages and that sort of thing, that it's advantageous for them to bring this up at this point. But we are under contract. So this is a project right now that is here before us. We often deal with economic development investments at this county in various different forms. We're looking at investing in broadband, wireless, and other things which lead to economic development. So it's not outside the realm of what we focus on here in Anoka County. And I think given the size and the scope of this project, this is larger than perhaps most cities see on a regular basis, and it's something we probably shouldn't be forfeiting at this point.
Trustee Look. Trustee Meisner.
That's okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, Commissioner, look, yes, I do know that we are under contract and in the beginning stages of it, but it does tie in. This is about economic growth. This is about jobs. This one proposes 55. Again, we have about 63 plus of union jobs that we still have not taken care of. And in my opinion, I've stated this multiple times, we cannot wait for the contract to run out when it is a wage issue for our workers. The other thing I would say then, okay, yes, we're in the contract is not working, so there are things that we can be doing and should be planning for in order to change that. So all of that, I don't want to belabor my position. I've stated that I've struggled with this. It weighs on me for the reasons that I have stated. And to your point, this is a huge opportunity for economic growth for all of the region, right? So at the end of the day, I think for the best decision for the community, I will be supporting this, but it has been a real struggle, just so you know, for me to come to this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we have three people here with us that are looking to answer any questions that we might have. So let's try to get back to that. Trustee Look.
Right, Mr. Chair, I was just, my comments are that is that it's not germane to this conversation. It's very well something we may look at. Who knows where that goes, but this is a separate conversation that we're having here, and I think we need to focus on this topic.
Trustee Reiner.
Pressed it. Sorry.
Just kind of curious, when do you guys plan to break ground, and then how long of a process will it be to begin to start using your new facility?
Absolutely. And thanks again for the time and consideration here. So the project, if it were to move forward, we would anticipate breaking ground in the spring when the ground thaws and allows us to do so. It'll be about an 18-month construction timeline, and we would anticipate being operational mid-year 2024. As you can imagine, then the jobs would follow. There may be some hiring as that construction completes and ramp up over the period of time, as I think previously discussed in the county board meeting by end of 2028 with those 55 new jobs. And I want to make sure that it's clear that is above and beyond the existing workforce. So that is net new job creation, net new capital investment.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and look forward to you staying in Anoka County.
Trustee Breasted.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm happy that Graco is a great company and already does business in Anoka County. That's great. My heartburn with this is that I believe that we're setting a precedence with taking $1 million out of asset preservation to help subsidize a current existing company. And like we talked about in our county board meeting, we really don't have a policy about this. We've all said that we need one, we need to talk about this. To me, this is putting the cart before the horse, has nothing to do with the integrity of Graco or this project. It's more internal as far as board operations. So my 2 cents.
Thank you, Trustee Brasted. Trustee Reiner.
Yeah, so I guess, last time this was mentioned, you said that we do have an economic development policy in place, and I guess we're going to have that emailed to us for review. How closely does the action that we're taking align with that policy, if you're familiar with it?
Karen.
Mr. Chair, trustees, we have a business subsidy policy that is on file with DEED. It does require job creation. It does set a minimum wage floor for the jobs created. So we are very much in line with what we are proposing here. The source of funding does not get addressed in the business policy that we have on file. That's the new piece, and I think there should be some additional modifications or policy revisions made to address potential funding sources.
Okay, well, it's good. Sounds good. I guess I'm happy to hear that we're mostly in line with that. Sounds like an aged policy, though, that does need some looking at and revising.
Trustee Schulte.
I move adoption of the resolution as presented.
Second.
We have a motion, and it has been seconded. Are there any other questions of our 3 guests online here today? I think we are all feeling...
No, I guess nothing else. I would like to say Angie Wardell from Graco. We really like our storied career here in Minnesota. We're coming up on a 100-year anniversary in 2026, so we're approaching 100 years. We're very proud of our manufacturing facilities and divisions, around the world, but really most of our locations are right here in Minnesota, and one of them in Anoka. And we've loved our partnership, and we would really like to continue that partnership going forward. So I appreciate the consideration.
Thank you, Angie. Jill, did you have any comments you wanted to make?
Just wanted to thank you quickly for your time. I am on site here in Anoka. We have about 200 employees at our current site. We're looking forward to being able to expand our current building. Moving manufacturing is never fun, so obviously expanding into our new plot of land right next door is the preferred avenue, and I'm very thankful for your consideration on the matter.
Thank you. Trustee Reiner, do you have a question?
Yeah, just a comment. I just want to say thank you guys for being here today. Really appreciate the time. We haven't had a lot of questions for you, but that's not from a lack of interest or support. We have had hours and hours and hours of Q&A, though, coming up to this point here. So the lack of questions aren't because we didn't have any. We've had most of our questions answered, so just wanted to let you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, and a big thanks to Rhonda and Dee and Karen as well. We've spent lots of time on the phone with that group, and really appreciate their time and support.
Good. Well, thank you. I don't see any more questions, so we'll take a vote. But I want to thank you all for being with us today. And we'll take the vote first, and then we can let you go. Then you probably guys want to hear that. So we'll go ahead for the roll call vote.
Trustee Brasted?
Nay.
Trustee Reiner?
Aye.
Trustee Schulte?
Aye.
Trustee Look?
Aye.
Trustee Gamache?
Aye.
Trustee Jepson?
Aye.
Trustee Meisner?
Aye.
And it passes with one abstention, or not abstention, but nay. So thank you. We appreciate that you're here for us, that we could talk with you a little bit and see some faces. Good to see you guys. We will continue our process. Karen, is there anything you wanted to add additional before we let them go?
Mr. Chair, trustees, I look forward to working on executing an agreement with Graco.
Well, thank you again, everybody, and you can stay around for the meeting, I guess. I don't know if they'll cut you off at a certain time or not, but we can let you get back to your work where you are. But thank you again for helping us out.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you all.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Then we will move to, trustee Meisner.
No, thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'm sorry, so just to regroup with the whole policy that Commissioner Brassad was talking about, and all of us have been, let's get that started or get that in motion in terms of fleshing some of this stuff out for future things. Mr. Chair, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think the
Is that a
first thing we do is-
Separate work session? Or
I think the first thing we do is get a copy and send to all of us so that we can take a look at it and see where we might be missing some things or not. But we should first all be able to take a look at it and see how it looks. So then we can have a discussion as to where do we go next. Trustee Schulte.
Mr. Chair, on that topic, I would hope that we have Greg look it over carefully along with Karen to maybe have staff recommendations come along with the current policy to see if there's a better route to position us for the future.
That'd be great.
Thank you.
Sounds good. So, okay, so that's item 5. Item number 5 is then the Economic Development Project Worksheet. No, that's the one we already just did.
We just did that, Mr. Chair.
Okay, then we're on to the public hearing, number 6. And, it goes to the attorney, that's right.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. At this time, I will open the public hearing portion of the meeting. The time is 12 o'clock noon. I would ask that the minutes reflect that notice of this public hearing was published on December 16th, 2022 in the Anoka County Union to inform the public that a hearing would occur during the January 24th HRA board meeting to allow public comment on the HRA's proposed allocation of community development block grant funds toward Habitat for Humanity's acquisition of 4 single-family homes to moderate income households. Before we receive any public comments, Karen or Renee from the Community Development will address the board with an overview of the funding proposals and take any questions.
Thank you, Assistant County Attorney. The CDBG program requires that we conduct all of our activities in a very open manner. Before we can award any funding, we do a public hearing. We are proposing to work with Habitat for Humanity on the acquisition of 4 single-family homes that would be used for low and moderate income households as ownership opportunities, not rental opportunities. We have the funds available. These are older funds that need to be spent up before this spring, and this is an outstanding way to do this. I'm happy to answer questions if you have any.
Questions of staff? Okay. Trustee Jepson.
No, I just wanted to comment, thank you, Karen and Renee and your staff for bringing this forward. It's so needed right now. And, you know, with these funds, they have to be used in this way. It seems like the perfect opportunity to do that. I saw the look of the homes. I saw what they look like. They are very cute, fit very well within a similar neighborhood, built by the same builder in that neighborhood. And I think 4 families are going to be very happy soon. Thank you.
Trustee Schulte.
Yeah, I actually just wanted to point out process that Attorney Jackala should be running this
Oh,
part
that's
of the
right.
meeting.
Yes, you guys should be asking him.
Thank you, Trustee Schulte. Are there any other comments or questions for staff? Hearing none, I will now open the public comment portion of the hearing. And to do that, I will first inquire of staff if we have had any write-in comments.
We have not received any comments.
Okay. With no public comments submitted in advance, I will then open up the microphone. If there are any members of the public who wish to provide comment, now is your opportunity to do so. Please take your turn stepping up to the mic. Okay, first call, second call. Are there any members of the public who would like to address the board? Any members of the public who would like to address the board? Hearing none, I will close the public comment section of the meeting and actually close the public hearing portion as well. Turn it back to the board chair.
Thank you. Karen, did you have anything else additionally for this, or we'll just move on to number 7?
Mr. Chair, we can move on to number 7.
All right, that's to consider approving the use of the unallocated programs year 2020, 2021 CDBG funds in the amount of $1,100,000 to Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity to acquire up to 4 single-family homes to provide housing for qualified low-mod income households. This project meets HUD's national objective for serving low to moderate income households.
So moved.
Second.
We had a motion by trustee Look and a second by trustee Jepson. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Trustee Reinert.
Aye.
Trustee Schulte.
Aye.
Trustee Look.
Aye.
Trustee Gamache.
Aye.
Trustee Jepson.
Aye.
Trustee Meisner.
Aye.
Trustee Brasted.
Aye.
And it passes unanimously. Item number 8 is to consider approving travel for one ACHRA staff member to attend NACCED, the National Association of Community and Economic Development Conference in Washington, D.C. for 5 days in February of 2023. The costs are there on the mileage, the lodging and everything. Travel and training forms are available in administration review. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Look, seconded by trustee Meisner. Any discussion? Oh, I'm sorry, trustee Jepson.
I just have a quick question. I thought we had discussed this a little while ago and there was enough funds for 2 HRA staff to go, or am I remembering that incorrectly?
Mr. Chair, trustee, we did not have that conversation. This is a legislative conference that ties into NACO. So we typically send 1 staff person. In the fall, there will be an educational conference where we would like to send multiple people.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? This is a roll call vote.
Trustee Schulte.
Aye.
Trustee Look.
Aye.
Trustee Gamache.
Aye.
Trustee Jepson.
Aye.
Trustee Meisner.
Aye.
Trustee Brasted.
Aye.
Trustee Reiner.
Aye.
And it passes unanimously. Then the last item is information and purposes of schedule of the 2023 ACHRA meetings, and that is attached. Anybody have any questions regarding that? Any issues? Okay, seeing none, then if there's nothing else to come before, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.